you know, although it's got a split down the middle. Really, um, what is center stage in the live context is, I think, stage right in the virtual context. And it was a very strong opening that we saw all those limbs coming out of the center line. That sort of aesthetically, that was really striking. But in the live context, they're in a place, I guess that's, you know, traditionally less strong because they're stage right rather than center stage. So I guess in an improvised context, you need to sort of bring in a new set of spatial knowledge to kind of think what's going to be important or interesting aesthetically, but also in terms of relating to the dancers in the remote site, because to get physically close to them on screen, you've got to go, say, stage right. So again, it seems to be really pushing perception into new directions spatially, which I think is really interesting.
I think the dancers might say challenging. Yes. That was interesting, because that is kind of the beginning part when you talked the opening. That is also a concern of how it looked. Have a very different feeling and a very different response to those who are in the theatre watching it, and maybe that just has to be how it is. I don't know, unless you have any answers.
Also, one of the things that we have not been able to work with is lighting. Like if we had a space where we could have literally a curtain of light here, it would make a difference.
I have a question from the audience here, so I'm just going into the audience.
This is Adam, student from Liverpool. Hi. Just a simple question. Is there a theme behind the piece, like a story? If so, what is it?
Yes, we're working on a loose idea of pinball, which is an old-fashioned game that people of my generation used to play in arcades. And maybe these things don't exist anymore. I don't know. Oh, they do? They do? Okay.
I think the sounds are probably more sophisticated and more digital.
What, today? Oh, okay. I'm aware at some point, Luke, that you have to get out of your space, so I don't know if you want to ask for one more question, and then I know you have to strike and get out before your next class.
I think we have time for one or two questions if people have them either online or Trish, you've been very quiet. Sandra again.
Oh gosh, Scylla, that's really interesting. Sorry, I'm just looking to read that actually the screen froze at some point. Yes, you do, doesn't it? Oh gosh, if it does that and then it speeds up to catch up. That was interesting, because that didn't happen on for our screen.
Hi, Sandra.
Hello.
I just wanted to, that opening sequence that we've been talking about, no matter where I'm facing, there's somebody seeing at all times, and how it was today that finally first happened.
Certainly one of the things, company, that I'd like us to think about is, do we have you, even though you're off screen, facing the screen at that point and just acknowledging to the live audience that that's how it is? Or do we gradually also turn some of you around at that point to bring the live audience into the moment as well as the screen audience? And we have an audience member, Amanda, Luke, it's Amanda.
Hi Luke, it's Amanda from last year.
Hello.
Hiya, I'm great, thanks you. Just a quick point about that beginning bit. I think that was the most fascinating bit to see. And from sitting in the audience, I like the fact that the backs were facing us to begin with, because it made you focus on the screen. And then as soon as they started moving towards us, that took the focus from the screen to the live space. So you got a bit of both, which I thought was really good. Rather than, I think if you had them facing with you at the beginning, you wouldn't know where to look. but with them facing the back, you automatically look at the screen, and then you start seeing different perspectives of looking into the live space and the screen at the same time. So I'd keep it with the backs facing the audience. I really liked it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Pauline, we're probably
Sure.
But I want to say how much we appreciate everyone coming today, and hopefully we'll have you and more people back on the 9th showing. And would welcome comments at any time.
Yes, thank you all very much, and I will respond to our online people as well via the emails as well. I'll take time to read all your comments and respond. Thank you to our live audience, thank you to our dancers, thank you to Noel, to Chris, and everyone, and thank you. Bye.
I'll see you in Skype.
Yeah.